How did Dave McCormick pay for his
You in my sight, I keep all the words you said to me. I'll get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you, now you beg me please. Hey, now I stay away, you were never meant to save me. Now I stay away, I'll hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. With you, I cried with you, now wanna be alone. I lied for you, I tried for you, you wouldn't play alone. I got you in my sight, I keep all the words you said to me. I'll get you, get you, get you, get you on your knees. Rewrite all the things you said that I should be. I'll get you, get you, get you, now you beg me please. Hey, now I stay away, you were never meant to save me. Now I stay away, I'll hear you say you're sorry. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I fell in love with you. Hate I even loved you, hate I kinda fell in love with you.
Ooh, you wanna come and get me, kick me down and make me hurt myself. Oh no, you will never forget me. I'm imprinted on your heart, I swear, I swear. At times you make me angry, but I know that it could always be worse, be worse, be worse. Baby, baby, now I'm trying to forget you. Baby, I know everything that was about you. No, I'm joking, I'm looking for the bathroom. Round and round, yeah, round and round we go. Picture perfect, but so many flaws that stopped you. I don't wanna ever see you in the same room. I open up and then you hit on all my issues. Round and round we go, we go. We go. Didn't think you would ever believe in me. Now I see your colors, now they're in my dreams. Do I need a touch? You do
Yeah, 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 yeah.
A blurry sunrise dawning, while we always up to the next day morning. And with all the chemicals worn out, made me feel good now. I be drowning in you, so thirsty. Couldn't care less how much it hurts me. Alright, but I'ma bite back now. Make you fall back. I keep going back to you. No more, no more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more, no more. You're like a bad habit. You're like a bad habit. Back to you. No more, no more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more, no more. You're like a bad habit. You're like a bad habit. All the voices in my head getting louder. They told me not to tell you, but they're itching for the powder. Got that blurry vision, seeing double. Yeah, I love you, but you're all trouble. I'd be lying if I said I didn't love it. Carved a couple holes in my heart, so fuck it. And with all the chemicals worn out, falling too far, falling too far. I keep going back to you. No more, no more, no more, no more. I keep going back to you. No more, no more. You're like a bad habit. You're like a bad habit.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
Alright, hello everybody, how are you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to another Fortnite Duos drop. This week we're going to have, of course, we featured a secondary team. So this week our featured team is going to be Zarek and Wayne, who was the secondary last week, aka Bloodhound and the FX team Team 10. So we'll be watching them the majority of the time, switching up depending on what they do. As we saw last week, these guys are really big on communication and teamwork. So it'll be really interesting to see how they play together. Just to see, especially if you guys remember the post-game interviews last week of the amount of teamwork and trust specifically that these guys have in each other. Really see now that we're watching the whole game to see how it goes in other game and how they really develop and build on that and use that every single point. So we should be dropping here in a minute now. I know I'm excited. These guys, I think they're great kids. And being a little bit older, and obviously they don't really talk to you anything. And these are the kind of guys that we have really high expectations for. We can expect pretty much anything from them. So it'll be really interesting, of course, to see just what they can do and how well they can handle, these matches tonight. These guys are Div 2, so just a Div 2 team, unfortunately, but we are looking forward to it. And we're almost at the point now where we're going to start cycling back around, so just something to be aware of. If you missed an early stream or something that your kid was featured on, we will be cycling back around just within the next couple weeks, so should be starting anytime now. And I think this is going to be one of the more exciting matches for us to watch, as we've talked a lot about this team, and I think they're actually trying to troll me right now, but the joke's on me because I'm not watching the stream. This team, very capable, very exciting. Also a little bit of a different play style than we typically see. These guys actually are a little bit more aggressive, so we could see them take some fights early game and see them kind of make a name for themselves in the lobby a little bit before they start to kind of hunker down and play rotation and positioning and stuff. And it looks like we're going to be dropping here just a second. And again, as soon as we get in the lobby, I'll switch to the screen that you guys can see, as I typically do. But I know I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited. I know Landon and Zarek are just as excited. Obviously, again, we got to see them a little bit last week. And of course, we'll be talking about them during some post-game or pre-match interviews or all that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And as we load in here, I think there's no other way to transition. So let's just jump right into it. And in we are, as we see everybody load in. Again, currently watching Landon's POV, or point of view for those that are unfamiliar with that term. And looks like one of the other things that I love about this team, that I know Coach Kyle loves about this team too, is the amount of awareness that they have to to know early game where they want to go and to pick a spot and stick to it unless they really need to rotate for some specific reason is great. So something that I love that these guys do, that again I think even Coach Kyle does as well. And we see Zeri there actually drop his crown just so that way he's not marked. Actually a really big brain play. Not something that you would probably see very often, especially at this high level of competition. But him winning his last game, he doesn't want to be marked, so he's going to drop the crown, and they're not going to give themselves up with that paying of the crown location. Looks like we're going to a little bit of an unnamed POI right off of that Doom's courtyard, I would assume. And they are looks like they find some people, but are still going to go to their POI and are going to loot up as much as they can. Loot being decent so far. Do some chugs that we're not going to break there yet. And one of the other things that I want to mention that I haven't mentioned quite yet is this is a team that also has so much trust in each other that they kind of run very interesting loadouts. So, and you know, so we will see times where more so Landon is just running a very unique kind of loadout. And that's not because it's an ineffective loadout or because he's trying to be weird or anything. It's actually because him and Zarek have so much trust in each other that they know that as long as Landon can do his role, which is mainly destroying the builds, then Zarek is going to be able to do his role, which is hitting the important shots. And that's kind of the other unique thing about this team is the style of roles that they have is so specific to each other that, again, we talked about that trust thing, that they just have so much trust in each other to do what they need to do that it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't really matter. You know, they're not holding each other, being hostile. They're holding each other accountable and know that they can do that because of their skill level together. So once Coach Kyle comes in here, we'll actually jump and call for a little bit and hear their comms. That's something that we typically like to do. So you have to keep an eye out for that. But right now we're just farming some material. Looks like both of them are just farming some material. Just go to Zarek's screen here and look at his loadout. And Zarek here having 2 weapons, shockwaves, and some heals. So Landon, I believe, having... I didn't really analyze Landon's loadout, but Landon, I believe, having 3 weapons and 2 heals. So very similar loadouts, at least for now. Obviously, if there's anyone we're going to see switch, it will be Landon down the line. Because of his more aggressive play style. But... oh, pardon me. And again, we see just a lot of material farming here, which is totally fine. This team being a little bit more of an aggressive team, they want to have as many mats as they can. Looks like we actually do see some footsteps. I don't know if they're getting pushed right now. Or at least some shots going on here. I would assume at some point, probably in comms, we've made a note of them, but no real engagement yet. So Zarek here being very controlled on mats, having just about 250 of each, metal being more, now wood being about 300. So him doing very solid on mats. Zarek being kind of a little bit more of the builder role, it is nicer for him to have the mats. The combat is still around. I don't know if they're going to try and push this team and potentially take it or not. We'll have to keep an eye out on them to see if they either get pushed or do decide to push this team. Looks like Zarek actually trying to get max of everything before that they engage. He's got max wood, so he's going to have to find some more rocks or other ways to get brick and metal. Picking up a mini that Landon left behind. Looks like he is going to try to get max brick as well, farming some of these rocks. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get max metal, at least where they're at now. But having 361 is a very good amount, especially being on max brick and max wood. Let's take a peek at Landon's materials and see. So okay. So this just confirms exactly what I was talking about, right? We see a little bit less, not anything crazy, but a bit less. So obviously, Landon being a bit farther away from max of everything, but still taking a good amount of mats. So that way, when the time comes that he does need to defend himself, he can build up. He is comfortable doing that, just not for his preferred play style. It looks like we're actually going to get to full brick here. A little bit of loot disparity here, but Landon now being at max brick. And it looks like Doom... I don't know if Doom Courtyard was completely unloaded or partially. I'm going to assume completely. And they're going to get this for free. And let's see it. Let's see if he picks it up. Wow. So actually a little bit more of a surprising decision there from Landon. Landon being a big fan of picking up the hero items or stuff. So kind of surprised he didn't pick that up. We do see a car inbound. Switch to Zarek. Zarek being inside. Actually has footsteps. They need to group back up. They're a little spread apart here. This could be bad for them. And Landic sees feet. Landon, or Zarek sees feet. Landon actually in combat and is knocked. Depends on Zarek. Zarek's gonna get the edit. He knocks one. He's gonna build up a bit, try to find his teammate. His teammate's underneath his build. We do see the shockwave away. Zarek's gonna try to land some shots. Doesn't look like he's able to find any, unfortunately. But he is gonna get the reboot card for free. And a little unfortunate there from Landon as he just kind of gets called out, I think. But Zarek doing a really great job to come back and put the pressure on. And we're actually going to see the reboot here, no contest. Probably just going to get this for free. Landon will be able to drop right back on his loadout and pick everything up. So the only really bad part is he's not going to have the 200 shield, but should be able to get that back pretty quickly. Storm is coming in, so they won't have a lot of time here. Landon specifically won't have a lot of time to reloot back up and everything, but shouldn't have a problem with it. Zarek's going to try to make it as open as possible, just so that way when the time does come, they can just get in this car and drive out of here. Zarek trying to desperately get back to full mats. Also, we're not sure for certain if that other player got the reboot, so something to keep an eye out on. They could have went to the other closest reboot and just rebooted their teammate. But it does count as a kill for Landon and Zarek, so very crucial there. Landon really need to be finding some shield here. Let's go back to Landon and see if he went back to his exact loadout. Looks like he's actually waiting for Zarek to get the car here. They're just doing a little bit more of looting. And unfortunately, since Landon is driving, of course we can't tell, but just trying to keep an eye out. Do you see a car over there? Is going to take some shots just in case there's someone over there. And the car does actually start driving away, so this could be a little bit of a Mad Max or Fast and Furious-esque fight here. Looks like Landon's going to make the executive decision just to drive away. $56 people left. 55 now. So this is the point in the game where we could start to see Landon and Zarek play a little bit more passive, a little more rotationally. Typically in the game, this is the style they like to play. They might play a little aggressive early on, and we see that with that early gunfight. But now that they're kind of cooled down and relaxed and everything, they're just gonna try to find positions and rotations that they want and or need to go. Landon doing his best here to find any shields. Doesn't find any. Does have the full Flowberry Fist, but doesn't want to waste it just to give himself the shield. So I think I might actually hold this for a little bit. Potentially holding Edge of Storm. Well, it looks like Landon needing some ammo. Zarek being a very good teammate there and dropping it for him. Taking the car with more gas. At this point, they need to be looting pretty much anything, trying to get Landon some shield. They do find chugs and some minis. Looks like this is where we are going to be back to 200, or at least to 90, or to 190 and 200. Oh, and there's actually a reboot near them. They could decide to push that. I actually think it's that building right that they were just at. Looks like they are going to check it out. Zarek's going to jump out a little bit early. Landon's going to try to get some shots on him late. But unfortunately, he gets the car stuck. Landon absolutely laser beaming him. Still in the car. Guy gets back out. And they are going to get the knock. Wow, great kill there from Landon. Just pretty much putting himself in a position where that guy couldn't see him. Couldn't find him. And Zarek also getting the cross shot. Really, you're just not going to defend that. So actually, that was probably the guy that they killed, the guy's teammate that they killed earlier. It looks like he did have the reboot, and he was trying just to delay the reboot a little bit, so that way Landon and Zarek wouldn't follow him. But in the end, didn't end up working for them, so. We see here now currently 2 kills as a team. Looks like they do see train coming. They're going to decide to avoid that a little bit as much as they can. You just gotta hold the edge of the circle here. My gosh, excuse me. It looks like we are just going to try and find a position here, try and find a location to hunker down. They are actually getting shot at a little bit here. Looks like Landon's just going to turn around and go back to the direction they were going from. Doesn't want to contest. Also, they are right below island. Typically, island can be a popular spot, but they are just going to try and distance themselves from it. Looks like they might hold this house here, or potentially find a car swap. Looks like they are going to check it out. And I didn't even realize Landon there actually taking some damage, being on 58 shield. He's gonna ideally try and find some shield laying around. Looks like we are gonna see the car swap here to this brand new, fresh, full gassed car. And this actually isn't very uncharacteristic of Landon Xeric, especially from what we saw last week, where they're just going to kind of drive around. They don't really need to take encounters at this point. They're feeling good in themselves, so they're not going to take the counters that they don't feel like are unnecessary or they don't feel like they can win. So just probably going to drive around a little bit, find positioning, find location, and really just try to get as much intel on the map as they can. Still a little bit early game. Circle still being pretty big sized, or pretty big, but let's watch Xeric here. Let's see if Xeric's peeking at the map at all. So they are going to take a little peek on island and mark it. Decide to avoid it. That way they don't take any free damage. I do see some shots there to the left. Looks like Xeric actually pinging a rough location of where he wants to go. Circling the outside of the map all the way around. Doomstat being a little bit of a hot location here, but luckily a lot of area for coverage, so looks like they might car swap. They are going to car swap. I think Landon actually sees a Fuzzberry Fizz that Xeric is going to take. And they're actually just going to decide to loot up a little bit here, being able to find some rogue chests and everything. Playing very calm, playing safe though. You do see the chainsaw. Could potentially see someone pick that up. Looks like it is going to get left. Now it looks like now they're going to decide to leave. They're going to get in circle here. Probably just hold the outside edge. And this is where we really could start to see the intel coming from this team. Where they're just going to kind of drive around and use their map knowledge, everything to their advantage here. Going to regas their car to make sure it's full. some shots off to their left, potentially on the island. They decide to drive away from it. Some shots right in front of them, too. This could be a little risky. Actually, there are shots all around them at this point. Do see some building right in front of them. Looks like they are going to kind of rotate away here. Some more building over there that they're going to spot. I don't think Landon actually wanted to go down there, but down they go. And it looks like they actually are going to engage in this team potentially. Especially getting the free reboot contest. And they do crack him quite a bit. They need to get this kill quickly, though. They're drawing a lot of attention to themselves. Landon gets the kill. I don't know if he picked up that chainsaw earlier or if he just picked it up now, but does get the kill. Landon actually probably going to take those gauntlets. No, he actually decides to leave them. They need to get out now. Zarek taking some shots from out of the car. Let's see if they can find him. They actually might chase this person down. It looks like that's what they are going to decide to do. Landon there just absolutely hitting the jump, trying to find that player. That player probably using their dashes just to get away. Oh, they do find him. Looks like they are going to engage here. And unfortunately, the dash is just being a little too hard to predict. And their car is sunk. And they can't get back into it. No, they're in a not great spot here. They need to get out. And unfortunately, being down a car is definitely not something that they favor. Luckily, still having the dashes to kind of be able to get them high ground, but there are some shots to the right. Looks like they're not going to notice those too much. The circle is closing in on them, so they do have to be aware of that. They're going to have to start a move here. Now, across the bridge is a dangerous position, especially as we just see someone jump down. Zarek decides not to take the shots. Trying to get across this bridge as fast as they can. Landon building up behind them just to cover them a little bit. Neither of them being marked for any damage, though, so Storm is on them, though. Zarek's going to take some damage here from Storm. They do find a car. Landon's driving skill is going to be crucial here. They do get back into circle. Zarek here down 55 health, and they just drive into someone. Oh no, this is not good. They're going to have to take this fight. And actually being able to get away there, that guy being scared as well, so wanting to get out of that position as well. We're actually going to unmute here for undeafen here for a second and see what their comms are like.
I'm this one. Pop the blueberry. Alright.
This is a very good game.
I know, this is a crazy game. Our car is... Let's go, we got our car back. We got a... There's another kid in my car! He yoinked it. The kid yoinked our car.
We don't need it. Just stay in the builds. Oh,
Actually, still down here. Wait. That's it. I saw him run to the left. There's also a kid behind. Okay, yeah, we gotta get out. I'm below. I have another make it. Just keep going. Try to get out. Where are you? We have to make sure we stay united. Hey, there's another kid rebooting.
I think the kid does. Oh, they both have chainsaw. Do
They're all. Just keep running. There's Iron Man Mythics. He's trying to reboot right now? Just run. Wait, you're fighting?
No, he's actually one shot. Nice.
Got him. I see if I can. I might be able to. No one's be focusing on us.
Wow, them being in a really sticky situation, they're managing to get out of it. It looks like they are going to be able to get out of this quickly. Oh no. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm lost for words. I think that was probably one of the unluckiest things we've seen. them just not being able to run and the shocker just not working for them properly. And 11th place with probably 3, 4, 5 kills overall, not a bad result for game 1, especially for game 1. But man, what an unlucky way to end it. I know that they're probably irritated with that result, as they have every right to be, because it's just nothing really that they did wrong there, just kind of the game. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it goes in esports. Is you got to be aware of faults like that, and something like that can happen anytime. So doing your best, trying not to put yourself in that position. As we continue to wait here for them, actually we'll get them up here since we get a little bit to do post-game post-game preview for this next one. So once they get their goals taken care of, we can get them up here. And just really unlucky. There's no other way I can describe it. There's actually no other way I can describe it than just unlucky, because that's just what it was. Actually, we do have the other match here. Let's actually check in and see what they're doing. And it looks like they are also dead as well, so.
I just revived him with them run. We're both in the store. We should probably put on the replay.
And looks like Coach Howell just handled them, so see if we can get them up here real quick.
Coach Christian has the.
I swear. Bro.
All right, and we are going to talk to both of them a little bit, just for a couple seconds here.
Oh, wait, it's probably, it might be glitched, Brad. I don't think I can see from your perspective. Yeah, that's it. It's glitched. There's
All right, looks like we're going to start with landing. Landon, how are you doing after that? Just unlucky way to go out.
Yeah, it was important in my case, especially like it just went that long. I guess some reason that's like what I like. Kind of push range and anything was unfortunate things that happened.
So beside the unfortunate circumstances that obviously we saw, how did you guys feel about that drop?
That was a lot better overall. There were all these easily take fights with people that were making dumb. That was literally after the eliminations were dumb people's. I feel like they definitely could have gone a little way with the last one again if it was just wasn't for the unfortunate circumstances.
And you guys playing really well that game. Actually, we tuned in a little bit, so we heard right there at the end a little bit of this calm. What does that mean for you to kind of encourage us and keep those up, especially being in an IGO role?
I mean, it's just something that kind of comes to me naturally. Since I've just always been that kind of person that's able to talk and speak positive actual positive too, while also being nice and trying to have a conversation.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll let you get Ross back in here. If you don't mind grabbing your duo.
I missed every single one of that first guy, and I stood on the car for the second one.
That second guy was so funny though.
I just stood on the micro.
Yeah.
I couldn't run up the car, but I chose not to, and not want to run up.
Well, that guy couldn't even find you. Half the time, he was trying to look for you. He's there because he's shooting in from across the building. But yeah, if you want to give the headphones to Zara, we'll get him up here a little bit. Looks like I assume we're going to have a first place finish there for the people in the Alrighty. Good guys there up here. So, it's only fair. We got to talk about it. I know it's not your fault, but definitely a little unlucky right there at the end. Probably not the way you guys wanted to go out. So talk to me a little bit. Obviously, you're pushing that, feeling really confident, really that reboot decision. How did you guys feel in the moment of deciding that you wanted take that into account. Of course. So looking back at the rest of the game, how do you think you guys played that drop compared to last week's drop?
Great finishes again tonight. Really well done.
So it's actually super interesting. We heard the same thing from Landon. Finally, what are you guys hoping to? Okay, other than the unfortunate circumstance, of course, what are you guys hoping to do this drop that you could have tweaked last drop, or you hoping to do last drop? Yeah, that's always helpful. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll let you go back and get locked in as you guys are about to drop here. Thank you so much for joining me up here. Alrighty. So there we heard it live. First drop. Again, just probably the most unlucky thing that we have seen and potentially will see last season. This has got to be heartbreaking for them, and honestly, I should have asked about it, but, I think one of the great things that we heard from them is they felt a lot better, and they felt they played a lot better compared to last week's drops, and then unfortunately, Fortnite took the shadow of it and didn't let them run, and they got stuck in the storm, so I think this drop, everything was aside, as long as they go in with the same mentality as the last drop, and obviously they don't have someone but that they would do very well. Potentially could even see a win. I was actually really hoping we would see a win that game. They played phenomenal most of the time. Not taking fights they didn't need to, taking fights they really felt like they could win, and again just being really lucky. And I hate to keep talking about it, but it is kind of the way that it goes. Something that you can't blame Landon or Eric or anyone else for, other than just the game itself and the abilities of a glitch malfunction. Really unhappy overall, but I know that both of them want to do better, and we expect them to do better. So, really great to see there as they hopefully lock back in and prepare for this next round if they're excluded for a second. I'm just here them referring to Coach Kyle a little bit, kind of explaining the situation that they went through to him as well. So, and just to clarify again, we do have an alternate team. I don't know if we're going to get to see them. Landon and Zarek being definitely a very solid team. Typically, they like to get replacements, so there's a chance we might not see them now. We just get to feature Landon and Zarek as well. But of course, with that being said, they will move up to the final next week. So also, I thought it was going to be last week. I thought it was going to be this week. But live streaming should be up anytime now. As a little bit, I can talk about some stuff. So live streaming should be up anytime now. And I'm pretty sure every single person, unless the staff, I'm sure I'm really correct to be honest, but I know every single staff is very excited to actually start live streaming, or just be live, for the whole operation to be live. We're treating it as if it's live already. Obviously, that's why I'm trying my best to talk very professionally and act very professionally and everything, but we are all very excited. I know I'm excited, I'm probably the most excited just because, this is kind of my baby. The whole setup here, you guys really don't get to see much of it, you really get to see half of it, but the whole setup really is just my pride and joy. It's really nice for me to expand my skills with being in front of it and behind the camera, realistically at the same time. So you guys don't get to see much of it. You do a little bit with some tweaks and stuff, some of the errors, but yes, most of the time being in front of, right behind the camera at the same time. Also, I know Andrew is very excited to get it live up as well. He's really excited for hopefully some parents to be able to tune in and watch their kids play live and not crowd the arena as much. So, again, something we're just all super excited about, and just be excited for the opportunities that it continues to bring. Obviously we will see the live streaming feature, but we also see the potential for growth in our kids, and we've seen it every video that we've uploaded so far, is, getting our kids up here in front of the camera, and it is scary, It's a very bright environment up here, there's a lot of lights and the camera and the high-tech equipment, but a lot of them handle it very well. I'm not really there a couple that have handled it as it was, but for the majority, every single person that's come up here has handled it very well, and it's very interesting for us to see as we get different physical as well as I can ask. And it's something that if they do like these sports and they do continue to do, they will either have to do in the future if they are good enough to be a professional player,
are happening around you. Be mindful of your peers.
Or if they decide to take it somewhere else in the sports, interview, they might have to prepare for anything like that. As someone in this field, definitely something you have to be aware of pretty much at all times. Looks like having a little bit of red here, but managing for the most part. Looks like we could be dropping in a second right now. I don't think I got to talk too much about the Fortnite changes. I highlight them a little bit. If you do get to see them, that will get here in Nashville. Obviously, looking for.
If they left you under, you'd be too powerful. Exactly. And then.
Okay, actually we're going to rotate here a little bit. We're going to switch to Brady and Atlee while we wait for this other drop here. Sorry about
Okay, so I have to wait for Zarek to land.
Alright, so sorry about that. Just trying to get you guys some content. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So, looks like they missed the drop. So it looks like Cannon actually missed the drop. I don't know if they missed the first drop or missed the second drop of what really happened. I'm a little unlucky for them. But that's okay. We will just continue to wait for Lane and Zarek to drop. Obviously, Atlee and Brady already being in their next drop, their drop 2. So a little unlucky on our end. But no worries. I can just continue to focus. Also, I completely highlight one more thing about this. We continue to see the arena get themed out here, so something that you guys are going to see as you guys are coming in. It's as you're coming in, and whatever. The arena is officially themed out for Halloween as we get ready for our parents' night out, our Fortnite fright or Hollow Fortnite or sorry, I forget the actual name. But as we prepare for that, we are fully themed out, so play bubbles everywhere, spooky, spiders and skeletons and pumpkins and ghosts and all that stuff. So actually something really cool that I would recommend if you have the opportunity to come in and you drop a kid off or something, absolutely come in and ask us questions. And stuff like this we have a lot of fun setting stuff like this up, so we appreciate what goes into this. Continued in the downtime here, we can also talk about the Extra Life event coming up, just to shout it out a little bit. So we have a Valentine Extra Life event coming up here soon. Actually, first weekend of November. It's going to be a 25-hour event, which Bahan is going to be there for quite a bit of time, I believe the whole time. Different coaches being there for different amounts of time, also different kids being there for different amounts of time. So just really a great thing that I know I'm a big fan of Extra Life. Always been at their charities. So something great I can see that I actually now get to work with quite a bit. I get to work with some of the great charities. We are advancing into the game here as we were going to start on Landon yet again. And actually, I'm going to change my mind. We are going to start on Zarek since we started on Landon last drop. And the ping being decided. Wow, they are hot dropping. Wow, they are hot dropping. Wow, this is a bold decision from them. They are going to stick with it. A little scary here. They're going to drop the crown again. Doesn't want it. Going straight down. Looks like it's not contested, though. Oh, maybe a couple people dropping in around their area, though. This is scary for them. Something that I know Coach Kyle harps about for them is not hot dropping. And maybe they didn't traditionally hot drop. And they didn't go to a super crowded POI or anything, but are taking a straight down line. And Zarek here actually already laser beaming someone. Let's see if they're going to find this kill. Fortunately, doesn't find it quite yet. Fortunately, missing some shots there, but they do give themselves some time here to loot up this POI. Again, really interesting that we saw them drop here. Maybe a little greedy on their part, but nothing too bad, as they didn't get contested too much. Actually, it looks like we do have Landon potentially taking some shots. Let's go back to him and let's see. Nope, actually just looting. I was stood missing corrected. Or incorrected. Landon here actually having a really good loadout so far. Oh, this is exactly where they went last time. This is exactly the same POI they went last time. It just being right under the bus this time. So they just decided to hunker down and go to the same spot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, maybe a little greedy for them, especially with the line of this bus, but it worked out. They were able to drop first and put the pressure on the other team. So. Sorry, I know you guys probably think I keep punching the mic, but it's actually just me moving it. Landon here being pretty looted up, actually. It looks like they could probably get to 200 of each if they use these chug splashes and the jugs over there correctly. Actually, Zarek having some minis on him as well. Now that they're grouped, they're going to move over to this together. Being 200. We see very similar loadouts to last drop as we saw from Landon Zerk. So again, we see Landon here, one healing item, the shield grenades, and then 3 weapons. And I'm assume we're going to see very similar 3 weapons, 2 healing items from Zarek. So very similar loadouts, again, just being a little different, obviously, because of guns and rarities and all that stuff. And now we're just going to tear apart this POI. We saw them do it last time, and they're just going to do it again. Absolutely pick this place apart to get as many mats as they can from it. And yet again, something that I think goes a little under noticed as we see how much Zarek prioritizes metal, having 250 metal from this POI already. And it looks like we do see someone, and Zarek here getting some laser beam shots on him. Player building up a little bit, but they are going to find him. And this being a little bit of a 2-on-1, they should actually get this kill here, and Zarek does find it. Oh, and then they find the other. And it looks like this player panicking a little bit, and Zarek is going to get that elimination too. Wow. A really great spot for them to be in. Confidence has got to be through the roof for now, especially with that early team wipe from them. And we saw Zarek just absolutely laser beam them, being more confident in their abilities. No need to panic, no need to build up or do anything too much. Just take the shots that are given to you, and that's exactly, especially what Zarek did. Only them taking 10 damage between the two is perfect, so something that we love to see. Zarek trying to get a bunch of brick here as Storm is coming in very quickly. They're actually going to have to rotate out here. Coach Kyle is in call, so let's undeafen here and let's see what he has to say.
There's just a chance for the car to spawn, so unlucky.
All right. Yeah, it happens. You guys are rotating together, so I'm happy with that.
Just take the river. We need the extra speed.
Yeah. Careful, because the kids still might be there.
Yeah.
Can I swim? Thank you.
So at least just get in the storm circle and we can go by foot again. We're kind of low on mats. We can actually take some of the rocks here. I can't forget, yeah. Be wary. Not seeing any medallion kids close by, so if they did get medallion, they're right now.
You can pull up map too, Landon, and figure that out quick.
Yeah, you already. I don't think you can. Yeah, it's still there. No one landed there.
Oh, there's one in Doomstat, it looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see the medallion circle in Doomstat. Those pulls get you metal too if you want to hit those for like 2 or 3 swings.
And I'm max brick.
Nice.
Almost max
Nice.
wood.
Alright.
Nice.
You can grab the cars
Yeah.
up here.
Again, Landon, those poles are metal.
I know.
Yeah, the poles are metal, the fences are metal.
Alright. I'm max wood as well.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's grab a car from here. See if anyone looted this area too.
So something that I really want to just harp on, and we saw it a little bit with Landon's post-game interview, is his communication is just stellar, you know, and I know Coach Kyle has to be just absolutely proud of how well that they are together. Landon is just, you know, I know he said it's always come to him naturally, but super aware of what and why he needs to say certain things. And Zarek also, you know, maybe taking a little bit more of that backseat role, also giving the most relevant information that he can, letting Landon know when he's at max materials, letting him know what his loadout is when they're finding shots, you know, all of this kind of stuff is crucial just as much from Landon as if not from Zarek, because Landon being in that role of IGL and constantly talking, constantly creating conversations and being aware and creating that awareness. Unfortunately, though, he is not Zarek, and Zarek has to make those calls, and Zarek does make those calls, and we see them work perfectly. This is one of the things why we continue to rave about this team, because it's not that you can't teach that, but it is something that is a skill nonetheless, even if taught, can be very hard to master. And these guys are great at it. Maybe not mastered yet, but are phenomenal with their communication. They're here actually going to find some shockwaves, going to drop a gun. Now we see more traditional loadouts from them. Zarek having 2 guns, movement and heals. Landon probably having 3 guns, and Landon being the driver here as well, which is something that we always see from them and we love to see from them, because we know Landon has full trust in Zarek to hit the shots, and Zarek has full trust in Landon to destroy the builds and put them in positions that they need to be in. So it looks like we see a Billy here. Just going to drive away from it. Just check it out a little bit, but no need to create unnecessary combat when you don't need to. A lot of parents starting to fill in here as we start to get closer to 8:30. Looks like we are going to go into Doomstat here just to see if there's still any loot chilling around. Looks like we do find a chest. And they're going to try to get max metal here. Which I presume that he will be able to. Actually, we're going to take a little peek. Actually, we're not going to be able to see right now because he's driving, but something to be aware of is Landon mats as well, which I assume he's probably got max or has very good map management. Typically, we see very good map management from the both of them, but something to be aware of. Also, we see the car coming. Looks like they decided just to drive away as fast as they can. Actually, some shots going to get taken on them. They could either avoid this or push. Looks like they're going to avoid. which again, something that we continue to talk about is this team not taking necessary combat and being aware to what unnecessary and necessary combat looks like. And they know that this is unnecessary combat. So Landon's going to make the IGL decision just to drive away and reposition and down the line have a better fight because they decided not to take that combat. Going to a little bit of a hot area here, but also we see them leave the car. Landon having very good mats as well. Obviously maybe being a little bit lower on metal than ideal, but having plenty to cover him for now, at least for one combat. Landon here actually trying to pick apart the little bit that he can to kind of get his mats a little bit more under control. Looks like they can go back actually where they were. See if they're going to get their car back here. Landon does go for it. Isn't going to do too much though. Does just decide to hold this position. Actually going to drive his car into the water here, which as long as he doesn't get out, will stay floating. As we see Landon just absolutely send it off ramp. It's so funny that he does that. You see that a lot from him when it comes to rotating. And actually trying to get away from the medallion here, which is the biggest brain play from Landon. They just do not want to deal with that medallion. And they will create the distance from it and continue to loot up here a little bit here just to make themselves as comfortable and as confident as possible. Back in the car we go. And again, we talked about it last game, and we're seeing it much more this game. This rotational information play style that they have, where they're just going to get in the car, drive around, not take fights, just get information, get insight on the map. Actually, now driving into some combat here. It looks like they decide to avoid it. A lot of stuff going on in front of them, though. They could potentially take this combat. Do decide just to boost and get away. Being on low ground here isn't great for them, though. Are some builds to the right, and a car behind them now. Do decide just to escape out of it, though. Some shots behind them, though. Now to the right. Potentially some shots here up on the train tracks. They could have combat here. Car now behind them. They could potentially be getting followed. Assume Zarek keeping his head on a swivel here, keeping an eye out for enemies and all that fun stuff. Some shots front of them now, the direction that they are driving. Looks like they might actually try and find some elims here. Do see some footsteps. And Landon just gonna absolutely truck the guy. Zarek getting the kill. Zarek is fully out. And they're gonna take this encounter. Zarek shockwaving into it, catching him off guard and getting into the box. And Zarek gets the kill. Oh my god. What an ego challenge from Zarek, but you love to see it. Him just having so much confidence in his aim, and Landon just knowing and trusting in his teammate. Wow, what a great kill there from them. Absolutely. And we saw there the true definition of what their roles are. Landon's role, disrupt some teams, break builds, potentially get some shots or some damage onto him, and Zarek there to clean them up with the better aim, with the better mechanics, and we see it there executed perfectly, and man, was that exciting to watch. Now we pick up 2 chainsaws and use them to rotate. Them just continuing to rotate, and look at this as we continue to talk about. They find the car, they get in the car. Something that Coach Kyle has drilled into their brains, that cars are the best form of movement and rotation. And Landon and Zarek fully getting it, deciding to find a car. And they do see a car in front of them. Looks like they are just going to turn away. Don't want to take that encounter. Feeling potentially a little nervous about it. Are just going to drive in a circle here. Actually, some shots off to the right is another car. They're just going to exchange drive-bys. Now being in circle. And we're probably going to see this default, very characteristic style of play from them. Actually, it looks like we could be holding this position. We do have some shots behind us, but they do see someone in front. Actually, could be a solo. They could actually push this here if they want to get this kill. Zarek here absolutely lasering him. Landon getting the car hit. And they are going to chase him down, even through the water. Zarek's going to get out. Does get a lot of damage on him. And Landon there cleaning up the kill. Wow. Wow. Something we just continuously see from this team. Something we expect. Landon there getting laser beamed a little bit though. Using builds, not panicking. Creating cover. Probably need to get out at this point. They're kind of in a third party scenario here. Let's go back to Landon. Zarek getting out. Landon also kind of getting out. Does get pinged for quite a bit. Using the dashes best to his ability. Does get in the car. Zarek now in the car, and they get out. Wow. Little scary there from Landon, but luckily enough for them, they do get out. Landon is still alive. Both of them are hurt quite a bit. Zarek here using the Flowberry Fizz as much as he can. And what a good avoid there from the car. They might actually take this fight right here. Actually, they might hold this person into Storm, but there are some shots behind them that they have to be aware of. But them having high ground right now, they are just kind of relaxing. They're going to get out here. There's some build behind them. And we're going to see at least one med kit pop. We'll have to see if Zarek uses one as well. Getting in car, trying to get as much health as we can as we rotate back in a circle here. And we see the rotation from driver. Zarek not being comfortable behind the driver's seat. Landon being very comfortable in the driver's seat. Holding high ground here. It's actually a great position for them. We might even see them get out of the car and kind of hold this position. Or we could potentially just see them stay in the car. Realistically, they do both, so it wouldn't surprise me either way. Landon there finding a mark. And actually, just because I'm really curious, let's undeafen and see what they're saying.
Oh, bro, what? Just go. I'm good. Bro, pop one of our wheels. Bro, it's so aggressive. It's actually just one kid, I think, though. I'm just gonna ram into it. I think we can kill him. We just get out. Just destroy his builds.
What's up?
Fighting a solo.
I see
Sorry,
it.
bro. Come from underneath.
Oh, he's running.
He just boomed out.
Alright, just get rid of those builds and get back in. You're getting chopped by another team, just get in and get out. Oh. Hi.
Cracked. He
Oh, he's
should
so low.
be dead.
You can get him.
Yeah.
He's behind the wall. Just break the wall. There you go.
Knock
yeah,
him, kill him.
Nice.
Yeah,
He should
take
have
that
heals.
confirm.
Kill him.
Nice.
Grab it. Grab it and go. But we need this make it.
Yellow shotgun.
Yeah, I'm saying there's another person.
Well, okay, I'm saying you can hit him with the car. He's a solo, it looked like.
I know. I was waiting for him to heal up. He's 1 HP.
Okay.
I think he's in here.
He is definitely in there. Oh,
Wait, how?
he beamed Zarek through the window. It's cool. Just get them.
Yeah, he's getting the finish.
It's okay.
Hey, wait. Hey, you want to do this?
Nice.
It's PTSD from happening to me.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. That's hysterical, though.
Is there any reboot vans in the circle?
Nope.
Alright.
Okay, you might want to swap
Yeah.
out.
I'm just dashing. I'm trying to get to the...
There's Iron Man boots there.
Yeah. I'm just saying if I want to take him or not.
Take him over Stark, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not going to get many long-range engagements, but I need to run.
Nope. Nope, we are fully into the short range now, my friend. That was so unlucky with that last shot that he got off on you, Zarek. That's so unlucky.
Wow. Amazing there from Landon. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! and getting caught out. So unlucky for Landon. That is so unlucky. As we just unfortunately continue to see this team do so well and play so well, but just continuously get so unlucky. But great matches. Great drops. Honestly, they played phenomenal. And here in just a minute here, we will get them up here. Just wow. Again, that's just another scenario where I'm just kind of lost for words, you know. Just really the most unlucky situation that can happen to them. And obviously, you know, they didn't get, you know, chainsaw rush or anything like that. It's Landon actually threw someone, but just completely unlucky as we're just trying to rotate with another and get some shots on it. So, also Zarek there being unlucky getting killed in the car as they decide to take combat. So as we get them up here, they are ready. Okay, and yet again, we are going to start with Landon. Landon, how are you feeling after that drop?
8 eliminations.
I agree 110%. So, talk to me a little bit what was going through your mind there when you're right there at the very end and you're at solo and you're just getting beamed from across the map.
I think the biggest problem for me was the fact that those routes were very unfamiliar. I knew I could have used them to get out probably much better than I did. But I knew that was the only way I could get out, so I was just trying to use them to fail. That was probably a very unfortunate situation. I think there's probably a lot of things that could have been better, but there's no way I could have, there's like 3 people hiding in that section up there.
So, we talked about playing better, and hearing from you and your duo, both of you agreed that you felt like you played better last drop than you did last week. And looking back at this drop, do you feel like that betterness continued?
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything you have taken from this drop that you guys want to continue to work on?
I mean, my biggest thing was that last engagement that I feel like we could have just went straight forward and killed him early before he had time to reposition and shot off right there. Other than that, I think overall there wasn't too much to learn from other than we did very well.
Perfect, yeah. I thought you guys played amazing, to be honest. You know, nothing really that I noticed that I saw was like a huge red flag. I think one of the craziest thing about you guys, and I would love to hear your comment on it, is how consistently you guys know your roles and play your roles in this duo. You know, and you talked about last week you being very much like, oh, as long as I disrupt the other team, then I know Jared's going to hit shots. And we just continue to see that happen. So I guess to kind of format into a question here, how does it feel to know that you have a duo you can put 100% of your trust in, and he will continue to deliver on that trust?
I think it's a gift, honestly. It's honestly an amazing thing to have, just a duo that you can put 100% trust into, because, I mean, throughout my season too, that's always something that's always been kind of a problem. It's always kind of hit or miss sometimes, and having a person that always hits is amazing. It's also interesting because being able to have a duo that always hits means you can play a lot more aggressive like we did these games, and play for those solo eliminations, no quick kills, which is something that you couldn't really do a lot, especially last season with the cars being as strong as they were, and even a solo being able to easily get very high placement because of the strength of those cars. The lack of that, you can push a lot more of these solos and get a lot more quick eliminations and rack up a lot of kills.
Perfect. All right. If you wanna flag your duo up here for me, actually, looks like he's gonna take that headset.
Yeah, I feel great about tonight's round.
And now here he is. You know, I think we have to live up with the nickname, the Laser Beam, because, man, we just continue to see you absolutely laser kids. Zarek, how are you feeling after that game 2 drop?
A lot better than any other game.
Perfect. And so we saw it a little unlucky there towards the end. How much trust did you have in Landon to do as well as he could after you had unfortunately got knocked and eliminated?
I trust him a good bit. Coach Kyle told us to go in, which I was not happy about because how low I was.
So, something that I noticed is listening to your guys' comments a little bit, is your guys' comments are crisp, clean, right to the point. What is it like to have an RGO that really can help direct you, but also keeps your whereabouts in mind?
It's pretty good, especially since I'm not good at thinking.
And how much pressure does that take off of you to know that Landon is there and he's letting you know everything that's happening? Perfect. And finally, so we talked. We talked after drop 1 of you guys wanting to do better and thinking that you did better this drop compared to last week. Now, looking at this drop, do you feel like that betterness continued, or do you feel like there's some things you guys can continue to work on? Perfect. And is there anything specifically that you guys noticed that you wanted to work on continuing?
Just try to get a little bit better where we are at placement.
Perfect. Well, I think you guys both are amazing. I know I'm beyond proud, and I think Coach Kyle is beyond proud too. If you want to go ahead and grab Coach Kyle for me, but thank you so much for your time. Alrighty. And finally, as you guys heard, going to be closing it out with Coach Kyle whenever he is ready. And here he comes.
Hey, good job tonight, Derek.
The man, the myth, the absolute legend, Coach Kyle.
Should not be talking about yourself like that.
Coach Kyle, how did you feel with the performances that we saw from Landon and Zerek tonight?
Across the board, fantastic. It's one of the things, again, I think we talked about this last week because they were our sub-team for streaming, but like they're coming together so well and they're starting to gel. The one thing that I think Landon actually was talking to Coach Jonathan about over back there, he's like, there's so much camping this season. And the reason there's so much camping is like everybody keeps getting better, which means that nobody's making the really sloppy mistakes that allow them to have a less crowded endgame. So we're all sort of camping, building, taking really quick, hyper-aggressive build fights, and then hopping back into builds because it's so crowded in the endgame. And it's one of the things that Landon and Zerek are slowly getting better at, which is awesome. I love it because it's just like their placements aren't quite where we want them to be, and they're like, oh no, we got 12, and then they're like, oh but wait, we got 8 more. So I'm just like, like, are you happy? Like, look at this big grin on my face. Yeah, I'm happy. Like, we'll get to the placements. So they're getting more comfortable taking fights. They're getting more comfortable being aggressive. Again, I'm happy across the board.
Yeah. So talking to them last week and now being able to talk to them this week, both of them said that they wanted to do better this week than they did last week, and both of them felt like they played phenomenal. And this weekend, and I agree to everything that I saw. I really want to comment on the communication between these two is just impeccable. Listening in a little bit here and there, hearing Landon just like nonstop, like he just talks nonstop. Is something that
good talking.
It is absolutely.
He's not just like talking about Isaiah's or like his favorite jewel flavor or any of it. He's constantly locked in, which is awesome. So.
Yeah, it's really great to see because being a coach here, and I know all of us I think have probably had our struggles with comms, and even if one team is getting it, it's really beautiful to see that.
Well, and here's the thing, right? After 3 seasons of I yelling, if he didn't get it up to this point, either I'm not doing my job because I keep on hearing that I failed decision for 3 seasons in a row, or he's not doing his job. No, I joke. He's been doing a fantastic job. It's honestly one of the reasons that we want to pair him and Zerek together because I think we've talked about this when we have him on stream. But Zerek is such a phenomenal fighter. Like you can see it in, and it plays out every time he kills. Zerek just is like he's so locked in focus. And it's really scary. And so when somebody is kind of constantly talking, it's part of the reason that they're the training team. I love it. They're doing a great job. Landon's comms are phenomenal this season. Yeah, there's just like small little things that we're trying to take up.
Zerek's got to change like his in-game name or something like Laser Beam because man, he just laser kids.
And he lasers them things like not laser. Like, I imagine a kid on paper, and he's just like, across the map, like, dude, that gun's not supposed to do that. How did you make that happen?
There was one point, I'm pretty sure it was in drop 2, where we saw him shockwave into an armored box and just like dome the kid for like 180 one shot, and it's just like, man, the amount of confidence that he has to do something like that.
And it's so funny because you wouldn't know, like, talking to Roller, he doesn't brag about himself, and I wish he would, because like, he deserves to brag about himself a little bit. But like watching him just be like teleports inside box, nothing personal, kid. I have to go all out just this once and just delete a dude from the server, because he does it like probably every other game. It's like he'll press some engagement and he'll be like, all right, cool, let's press it. And Zeric's like, sick, say less. And all of a sudden he's just done and pressing it and crushing it.
And finally here, just to close it out, what do you have in mind? You know, what ideas are you scheming up that this team can continue to work on and hopefully get those placements that I know they're looking for?
So there's a perfect example of this little microcosm of what happened in the game where they pushed one solo, they had vehicle, they got the solo, and I was like, just keep pushing the solo. And he's like, oh, we gotta wait for Zarek to heal up. Well, they waited for Zarek to heal up. The guy was able to reposition, got a shot off, killed Zarek right out of the vehicle. And I was like, guys, if you pressed, probably would have gotten him.
Yeah.
And you probably could have revived Zarek instead of having to go into the late game to make that res, which they never got off because you know, the late game's a cluster and everyone's trying to shoot everybody. And Landon's like, what do I do? I gotta build this as quick as possible. and again, did a phenomenal job with that. But there's little elements of their game that we're just trying to fine tune and tighten. And I think part of that is right there. It's like, you wouldn't know it by watching the odds, but they're still a very new duo to each other.
Absolutely.
This is like, what, week 4? So this is game 8 that they have played together within their professional capacity. And so as they're starting to get more used to each other, I'm hoping the confidence will translate into an additional level of aggression from both of them. Because I'm like, they had it. They could have just, it was so, the line was right there. And I just don't think they trusted themselves enough yet. It's just one of those things, I think as the games continue, as the season just grows and commences, I really do think we're going to get more, not more, but we're going to see a tighter level of aggressive play from these teams. It's the confidence and it's the teamwork that really only comes at this point with experience. With
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled across. I'll say it right now, knock on wood, whatever this made up. Like across the board this season, I've been really impressed, not just with Landon and Zarek, but everybody's drops across the board, because it seems like everyone is talking together, they're being more consistent, the comms are better, we're rotating together, we're taking fights together, we're actually mining up locations and POIs like we've talked to. Again, it's crazy how much of actually being great at this game at a higher level is the basics.
Correct.
And so we're seeing it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Especially from these two.
Yeah, but I love it. So, yeah, phenomenal drop across both. Phenomenal results across both drops tonight. Very, very happy.
Perfect. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us here. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I'll let you go back to fun score reporting. And so guys, don't forget to tune in probably Wednesday for either some Fortnite, some Apex, or some Rocket League, and then Thursday for some Valorant, of course. Be on the lookout for that, and honestly, live could be happening at any point, so just be aware of that as well. And I think from all of us here at Valhalla and Campo, thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting us. And we'll see you guys on Wednesdays. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, when you go charging across the battlefield, the cannonballs are flying at you, and you jump in, I was like... And then when you, like,